Hey guys, welcome to Grandma's Wealth Wisdom channel. If you haven't noticed, we've been doing a lot of videos lately. Frugal Joe is here, Pamela's here. So we've been doing a lot of videos lately. Amanda has started a YouTube channel, or not a YouTube channel. It's still part of our channel, where she is talking about financially independent female entrepreneurs. So she's doing daily videos every day, doing videos talking about what it means for feminine financial wisdom. And she's really smart if you haven't noticed. So go and after this, go check out that playlist. It started daily. We're working really hard at that. Financially independent female entrepreneur, because she is a female, she's an entrepreneur, she is financially independent, and she's a lot better at public speaking than I am. But today is not about Amanda. Amanda's not here, as you noticed. I have the pleasure of introducing Dawn. Now, Dawn, I found because we started this whole podcast or YouTube thing. We've been doing podcasting for a while, but we added podcasting or YouTube into the mix. And it's a whole crazy world out there in this YouTube world. If you know about that, you're here on YouTube, so you probably see. So Dawn has been somebody that I've been following, watching her. She is very consistent. She has grown her channel in 3 years to a really over 20,000. When I did the video or started this video, it was 19,500 subscribers, and now she's at 21, I think. Anyway, I'm going to have her come on because what we are talking about is making sense of your money. That was the title today. And I think she has a lot of great sense. She shares it in her videos. So with all that, welcome, Dawn. And we want you guys to be interactive.
Hi. I'm new to doing this, guys. Y'all know that I'm not super tech savvy. For example, I can't see right now, and I'm not sure why, some of the people watching.
Yeah, so far we got, in the comments, we got Frugal Joe who said something.
Oh, hi, Frugal Joe. She's such a sweetheart.
Brenda said something.
Oh, Brenda.
And Pamela Morrison.
Oh, hi, Pamsy Pie.
Yeah, there you go.
I know. You know what? I know I always say this. I'm extremely grateful to all the fabulous subscribers and people that view our channels because they're taking their valuable time to watch us, and they also give great tips. So I learn from them as well.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot from you. Sandy Seibel Hager.
Oh, yeah, by the way, will I be able to see the people participating on my end?
You should on the right side, I think.
Okay, it says private chat.
Yep.
I'm afraid to click something because I don't want to click off. So
click on comments there. I'll actually do this. Watch this.
Click on comments. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, now I see.
There we go.
There's Pamsy. Hi, Pamsy.
And Dawn, if you want to put me on mute, I can hear myself through your thing. So bring me the volume down.
This sounds crazy. I don't know how to do that.
It should be fine. If they might be able to hear me a little bit here.
Okay, go ahead.
So today.
Wait, how do I respond back to people?
You say hi.
Oh, I don't have to hit and type something?
Nope. I'm doing that. We can totally do stuff. And let's see. Lynn says, came to see you from Channel Money Mom.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I was going to say hello, StreamYard. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Frugal Joe, Brenda, Sandy, Judy, Lynn. Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us at Grandma's Wealth Wisdom for our channel. It is a small channel, but I'm going to catch up to Dawn one day. Well, Amanda mainly because she's the amazing, powerful voice. But today I wanted to talk to Dawn on just some really, not just having a real conversation, right? She has her videos She does a lot of content, but I want also you guys to engage as well. So if you have a question for Dawn, put it in the chat, and I just want to get into it and ask her some wisdom here. Bree says it's fun to see you live.
Hi, Bree. I've actually met Bree. She's a sweetheart and has a lot of great information.
Awesome. Cool. Well, first thing I want to ask, and go ahead if you want to bring me down. If on your thing, I'm hearing myself in there. Maybe it's me. How about we do that?
To be honest with you, I'm just hearing me or you. I'm not hearing me.
Maybe it's there. There we go. So what does financial independence mean to you? We were kind of talking about this earlier. This is a loaded question. But what does this mean specifically, not to your channel, not to your group, not to anything? What does financial independence mean to you, Dawn?
You know, that is an interesting question. To be honest, I just started thinking about that today. You know, I guess it could mean something different to everybody. If I had to sum it up in a nutshell, financial independence to me would be basically having more choices and also working for yourself. That to me would be that. Now, usually what financial independence means is that you're not required to work. And so you have all different types of investments. But the thing that is confusing, and I have to be honest, I'm not really sure how to answer that question, because even if you have, let's say, real estate investments or stocks and bonds, you know, when they talk about passive income, you still have to be somewhat involved. Nothing is really all passive where you just sit back and watch money rolling in, you know? So basically, for me, when I think of financial independence, I think of having more resources at your fingertips, being constantly in learning motion where you're learning. And that's kind of what I think of. I know that kind of doesn't answer the question, but I'm actually still learning about what that means. If that makes sense. I mean, when I think of financial independence, I think of someone that is retired that no longer has to, quote, work. But many people that are doing that and are living out maybe they're traveling and such, they still may have income coming in from resources, whether it's a pension, Social Security, you know, mutual fund stocks, bonds, life insurance policies, possibly a YouTube channel, a blog. Maybe they've written some books and they have royalties from them. I'm just thinking things off the top of my head. Yeah. So I guess I still need to answer that question for myself. I am not financially independent. Okay. And I do have different resources of income. I have 3 main resources, but I do need to do those resources to bring money in to be able to pay for the things that we need. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that answers the question.
Well, I do think like financial independence. I keep hearing. It is a really interesting question because we are in a pursuit of that, right? And so people talk about like passive income, and they say, "Well, I want to get passive income," and I think, "Oh well, Social Security is passive income. You just work 30 years for it." And you finally got that passive income. And so that whole pursuit of that is really interesting, where you still, you need the money coming through. It's not just, you just all of a sudden have money just flowing in. Like you still have to work for it. And people often think that when I'm independent, I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to do anything anymore. And what you're saying is, no, I still got to do things. Still got to work.
Well, like, let's just say somebody has enough investments to live for the rest of their life. They would still need to manage those. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, I would think so. They would still need to manage and stay on top, maybe continually invest. And by the way, financially have quit their 9-to-5. Something they love. Oh, I like what Sandy says. Most YouTubers I've seen are financially independent, have quit their 9-to-5 jobs and still work doing something they love or their passion.
Yeah.
You know what? That really makes a lot of sense. That's an excellent comment. And I did see I have a question in there, and I do want to address the question. But I will, you know what? You're right about that, because I've heard people say if they're doing something that they love, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, how many people work a 9 to 5 and say, oh, I can't wait for the weekend? You know, that type of thing. You know, they love doing it. Someone asked if I would do a video on how to start a YouTube channel. I did a video on that. To be honest, it didn't get a lot of views. There are a lot of wonderful channels out there. And if it's okay, I'm going to give you one channel, if it's all right to say. And I don't know if I can pronounce her name, but her name is Annie Dupre, or she lives in Canada. It's Dupre. That's what her exclusive channel is she does a channel all about YouTube and how to start it, and her content's really good. Also, Tim Rose does a lot of good things on that.
Well, and I do think she brings up a good thing or a good point about this whole channel thing, right? Doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
And you, in 3 years, you've grown your channel and you're making some money off of it, right?
Yes, I am.
And you enjoy it. And
yes, and I have to tell you this, you know, a lot of people talk about YouTuber burnout. I'm not just saying this to be nice. I never have gotten burnt out. I absolutely love it. And I love the subscribers. And I tell the subscribers this, you know, yes, I come up with ideas. Yes, I share my life experience, and I'm learning and growing along the way. But so much of the content isn't from me. It's from the other subscribers. And after I get done with my Tightwad Gazette series, I'm going to restart a series I used to do about my best tips I've learned from subscribers, because where you get the best value is the comment section, where people come and give phenomenal ideas. And I actually really love this. It seems like it is not work at all. It is so much fun. And the comments that's my favorite part, is the comments.
Well, you might want to do something like I'm doing right now with your channel, doing StreamYard and inviting people on, doing a live show.
I've never done that. I'm a little nervous about it, just because I know my channel knows this. It's not that I can't learn, but I'm not super tech savvy.
Well, and that's the thing I love about you, is you just go out there and try it. And this is what it shows, is you don't have to be tech savvy to learn and build and grow passive income or building what you love to do. And I think that's a powerful thing to see and do, right? And it does take some time. And you ever heard of the FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early?
Yes.
Now, one of the things that people are always like, hey, I want to get to independence, and I want to retire early. And I want to make all this money. And my wife and I were like, you know, we retired technically she retired at age 24, because we started a coffee shop and wanted to do what we wanted to do, start our business. Now, technically, we retired early. We quit the 9 to 5. We did not reach financial independence, but finding what you love to do, figuring out ways to monetize it, and leveraging our gifts. That's what you're really good at, using these videos. And so I think that's really, really awesome, and why I love what you've done. And what Frugal Joe, I like her channel too.
Oh, yeah, she has a lot of good ideas.
And turned it into work, meaning it's not really work, probably, I would think. But yeah, what questions would you guys have? I know we have 14 people here, which is awesome. What questions would you ask Dawn about anything? Like
even your most personal questions.
Yeah, and she has the ability to say, I'm not going to answer that. That's part of what I like. We are not in politics. We don't have to play it.
Yeah. People kind of know. And I think right now, with the climate going on, I will say that when you mention politics, everything, I love to learn. I have a lot to learn. And I love talking to people with all different viewpoints, because I use it as an opportunity to grow as a person, because there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, so Frugal Joe said she liked what she did, but she was a musician, and doing it for money took away the fun.
Interesting.
And I think that too is a very interesting thing to think about, right? If you go to churches, right, the teachers are always asked to do childcare or some kind of things, and they're like, yeah, well, you love doing that, so therefore you want to do it on your time off.
That makes sense.
And I'm like, they're like, no, I don't really like that. And so I think sometimes you have to know yourself, and knowing when it might be work and it might be a good thing, or it might not. And that's a powerful thing to know yourself.
That does make a lot of sense.
So what other things would you say are, or let me ask this another way. If you were to look back on your old self before you started this journey of exploration, even when you write content, you're really exploring yourself and asking yourself a lot of questions and then sharing it to the world. What would you tell yourself, let's say 10 years ago? What would you say, man, you need to do this or that, or yeah, anyway, what would you say to
Well, the biggest thing I would tell myself, and I'm really serious about this, and by the way, hello, The Long Run with Joel and Christy. They also have a YouTube channel, really sweet people. Frugal Joe also has a YouTube channel, just in case any of you guys want to go out and check out their channels. There's so much excellent content. If we only had 12 hours in a day to watch everybody, because everybody provides value. What would I tell myself? And there's some things I haven't even gotten into on YouTube. And I have a question for everybody before we go too. Oh, thank you. And I'm not sure how to say your name. Is it Suda? I don't know if I said it right, but thank you for being so sweet. Honestly, I have a video coming out next Wednesday about this. The biggest thing is I've been concerned all my life about being a people pleaser and fitting in. And also that was a lie that I told myself. And everybody would say, Dawn, you're so frugal. But really looking back, I wasn't that frugal, okay? I lived up to other people's expectations. That's number one. Number two, I thought because I didn't make a lot of money, because the average income in my area is about $65,000. Well, our families never made that much. So I thought, well, I don't really make enough to invest. So I never made investing a priority. And so I basically listened to other people, was a people pleaser, and basically lies I told myself. And that's the biggest thing that I want to say on my channel is I don't care whether you're making $20,000 a year, $80,000 a year. We can all do something. And even the small things we can do are really powerful. And the biggest thing that's why I like to keep my YouTube channel a safe zone. I do go through those comments, and if they're not growth-minded comments where we're uplifting, I don't tolerate it because we're not there to shame anyone. We're all at different places that no matter where it's a small manageable steps. And I didn't realize that years ago. And I put myself in a box and I listened to everybody else around me, if that makes sense. Sorry, I went on. Sorry, guys. You guys know I go on and on and on. They probably wonder how I do the 5-minute videos.
And I do think and I think someone said they had lost the live stream, but then they were able to come back in. I don't know. That's the whole thing of doing things live. You never know technology.
That's true.
But I do think that's a challenging thing in doing YouTube, and any of that is like you're putting content out there, and you want to do it in 5 minutes or less, right? And
I really do like to. But
the problem is context is so important, and there's so many factors and things that revolve around our finances, revolve around being frugal, is about us, and there's decisions that we make that require a long thought out answer. And sometimes it's like, well, no, I do it because just because,
But you know what? I don't think everybody needs to do. I'm known that most of my videos are in the 5 minute or less. Not all of them, because I have had some longer ones, especially my chats. Not all of them are. And I don't think just because I do it, other people. I think everybody needs to do what's a good fit for them.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm talking more about like when you get the haters or you get people who like, you should do this or that. You want to find what brings you joy, while also the challenge of saying, okay, what are people going to what? And that's a balancing act. How have you balanced what brings you joy, what you like to do, but also looking at, okay, what is the audience like to watch?
You really do have to focus on, are you asking that as a question? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You really do, because I noticed that my channel's been growing lately, which I'm very blessed, and I am so humbled by everyone. And, you know, it doesn't matter to me what size channel you are. I feel everyone provides some value. With that being said, I really think that now I'm hearing myself now, I don't know why, but anyway, I do think that you do need to listen to what the subscribers want, because they're the heart and soul of your channel. What I'm doing right now, and that's kind of why I went off my Money Making Monday, because people weren't as interested in that. So I'm doing the Tightwad Gazette series. Number one, it interests me, and I really love Amy Decision, and she's an incredible person. But I'm also listening to what the viewers are interested in. But what I do is Wednesdays is kind of my day where I do what I want. And some days I get views on those Wednesdays, and some days I don't. Not every video is going to get a lot of views, and that's okay. And, you know, but I do really care about what the subscribers are interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I do. And most of my videos, I do like to keep short, and I do like to say, let's get started. And I like to get to the point. And I want to say this, I'm really working on my channel using any type of constructive criticism I get, using that to empower me. And most of the comments, I'm going to say 95% are very growth-minded, helpful, wonderful comments, because that's what I attract and that's what I get because of that. And I'm very grateful. Honestly, it doesn't bother me if someone says something unkind to me, but I'm very protective about the subscribers. I don't want anyone saying something unkind to a subscriber that takes their valuable time to write a well thought out comment and brings value to the channel. So those types of comments I do delete if someone is unkind to someone else.
And how do you not take it personal? Because that can, the challenging thing for me is you'll focus on the 5% and not the 95%. How have you, because I know it's a psychological game sometimes, and you ruminate over that, man, that person is mean or what?
I know this sounds strange, and maybe it's because I've been on, because there are so many fabulous people, and a lot of these folks have been with me a long time. There's so many wonderful people that have brought such value. I mean, I've even had some of the subscribers come to me recently and say, Dawn, the comments are so helpful to me, because I always want to ask a question and I really care. Honestly, almost everybody is so wonderful that if there are a few, it really doesn't bother me. I basically, to be honest with you, if it depends. If it's somebody that is coming on, like I have had some people that come on and they'll tell me I'm ugly or fat, things like that. That's not serving the channel. Now, if someone said, hey, Dawn, I'm concerned you're eating food that's not healthy, that's different. That's a growth-minded comment. They're not being hurtful. But if someone does, I just delete, then block them where they can't post again and go on with my day. You know, I don't make a big deal out of it. I'm there for learning from the subscribers.
Nice. That's good.
It really doesn't, honestly, if it bothers me, it's very minuscule, because the good people outweigh anybody negative. And like they say, hurting people hurt, right?
Yeah, hurting people hurt people.
I'm not going to get into dialogue, explaining, or defending myself, but it may be easier for me because it's in writing versus verbally.
Yeah, I think that's a powerful thing. And then I feel like for me, I mean, again, our channel is only a small, like we just broke 300, which is awesome. Thanks to you guys. But it's still like figuring out like, hey, how do we not how do we grow it? How do we build this audience like you have? Like, I want to be able to do that. And I know, like, my wife is the positive one. She is always the eternal optimist. I'm the pessimist in the family. And she's like, yeah, whatever. I'll just create really great stuff. And then, then I'll do the comments or something like that.
You seem very positive. By the way, thank you, Brenda, for saying that. I am seeing the comments, and I don't want to interrupt, but I appreciate them. One person, one person keeps saying that the live stream's cutting off. I'm not sure why that is, because I'm not super technical. Brandon may be able to tell you. And one of these sweet young ladies, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Do you know how to pronounce her name? I love your hair, by the way.
Doing it right. She said we said it right.
Oh, I did? Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good. She was wondering, have you received any hurtful comments? Yes, I have. I mean, I've received some kind of funny ones. The biggest one is I talk too fast and I'm too loud. And I'm going to be honest with you. You would never want to go in a library with me. I'm going to share this on the channel. I recently went to the library and my voice kind of echoes wherever I go. And that some people were just kind of looking at me. And I told the lady at the front desk, I said, I have a feeling you guys would never hire me. And she just laughed. But I wouldn't say they're hurtful, but usually it's something about my physical appearance, that I'm not attractive. I'm still fat. My hair color's terrible. I have sagging skin, whatever, usually it's about my physical appearance.
I mean, we got some on an ad that Amanda did, and that they were like some, I don't know what it was. I just deleted them.
Yeah, usually how I handle it is I don't respond. That's the biggest thing. Why respond to that? Because then you're creating more of that energy. I'm a big believer in the energy field, and if you are, if you want, wonderful comments, then you can't pay attention to the negative ones. So basically, I just delete. I don't even acknowledge. I don't explain, because it's not a growth-minded comment. So there's no reason to have it on there. But I will tell you this: I'm very protective. I already mentioned this of the subscribers, because I won't tolerate anyone being mean to somebody on the channel. And honestly, it's so rare that happens.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, as you grow a channel, one of the things I'm curious is, where do you want to go from here? You've grown it to 20,000.
Well, it's interesting, and I kind of want to get some views on this. One of the things that I feel makes my channel a little bit different than some other people, I love what Jill said about the positive comment. I love all these comments from you guys. Thank you. Is that this is kind of off topic, but I don't, and I'm not saying any of these things are wrong for other channels. I think every channel needs to follow their dreams and do what works for them. I want to say that, okay? Because I don't believe in comparing finances, other channels. Because I don't feel it's a good fit for me, I don't really do sponsored videos, or I'm not selling merch right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The one thing that I am looking into doing is starting a Patreon. But what I would do it donation based, where they could just even give $1. And I would just do the one level. If they want to give $1, great. If they want to give $1.25, great. And what I would do is talk about some more personal things that I may not be able to share on YouTube, if that makes sense. YouTube is awesome. I cannot say enough nice things, but there may be a few things that I may not be able to share. I don't know how anybody would feel, but no one is under any obligation to support me in any way if they don't want to. I mean, I never try to push people to support me in any way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you guys are here. What do you say about that?
And it would be a donation based, but it would be more personal videos to get in depth. That may be more I could help people with their budgets if they wanted me to. I'm not an expert. More personal type videos about certain topics.
Yeah, as people may be thinking about it, I would say that for me, we just started the Fife podcast, and we put it out on I don't know what Anchor, and Anchor has a way of donations if you want to donate to the podcast. So every video that we do is a podcast as well, and it's on Anchor. And we're like,
and I've heard good things about them.
Yeah, I was like, well, might as well. If somebody wants to give us a donation, I'll take it.
But I'm very cautious about that. Like, for example, and the subscribers don't know this, but I get a lot of emails, and there's nothing wrong with this, asking me to do sponsored videos. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I'm a frugality channel. Many of those things are not things that I would use, and I don't feel comfortable promoting something that I wouldn't use myself. I did do a sponsored video that I really liked, which was this filter. It's been a while, from Filter Joy. And it's because I actually use that, okay? Mm-hmm. But I don't do sponsor because, number one, I don't want to be promoting, and it puts a lot of pressure where you have to do things a certain way. Yep. And then what happens if I don't sell? Like, let's just say, I'm going to use Frugal Joe, for example. Let's say Frugal Joe is selling some budget books, okay? I would say, hey guys, check out Frugal Joe over at her Etsy shop. She's selling books. I don't want Frugal Joe to have to send me anything. I don't want her to have to pay me. I would just do it out of the goodness of my heart. And the reason why is, if you're getting paid, then Frugal Joe could say, and not that Frugal Joe would do this, but she might say, well, gosh, we only sold one. And she may, see what I mean? So I would, like, when I do shout outs to people, I don't want anything in return. I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart, but they don't have to do anything back. Yeah. That way there's no expectations, if that makes sense.
Well, there's this principle that our business was called Overflow, and this is our coffee shop business. And the idea was, out of the overflow, you'll be able to, if you're flowing right personally, you'll flow into the other people and then the community and the world, right? And what this modeled, and why I reached out to you or even built a relationship, is like, I was like, man, she is modeling overflow. This concept that we built a business around it, right? And the idea for me is, as you're flowing through, you just say, hey, this was awesome. You should try this, or subscribe because it impacted me. There's no tit for tat kind of a thing. It's just
yes, I honestly, and I really mean this. And like I always say, there's so many channels out there that have value, and I have done some shout outs. What I was doing though, and nothing against anyone, I was doing a lot of shout outs, and one of the wonderful values of subscribers said, hey Dawn, you were doing so many that I kind of stopped going to the channels. I think I'm going to probably be doing like one shout out a week. Yeah. And telling, hey, something that I find valuable, because I really do like helping other channels, and there's so much value out there. And even though people may like my channel, the average viewer on my channel is age 50 to 65, and most people are female. So let's say somebody in their 20s that just got out of college, it's not that they can't learn or gain from me, but they may say, hey, this person really isn't relatable to me, but let me go over and look at this other channel of somebody that's in their 20s. That's kind of where my life is going. So, what may be a value to me may or may not be value to someone else, and that's okay too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I do appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the support and all the comments. I mean, you can see that all these wonderful people are just, I wish some of them would start their own channels and just bring such value. And I have not done a shout out yet to Long Run with Joel and Christy, but I do plan on it. But when I first saw that channel, I didn't do a shout out yet, because at that point I was doing a shout out every day, and people were not getting as many views. So I want to make sure that I don't do it too much where it loses its, whatever you want to call it. It won't be as important, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I think, again, knowing yourself and knowing your audience and knowing what brings you joy is the biggest thing. We do these kind of things, like we have a channel and all of this because we like to do it. We want to make a difference in the world. And so the content that we're putting out, daily content, is all about like us even thinking philosophy of money and things like that. And part of it is because we want to do it. We don't need a a bank or somebody else saying, oh, well, you should talk about this and we'll give you some money to talk about it. I don't know that I would do that. But I think that for me, I know we can make a very big difference in the world, and we have so much power at our fingertips, right?
That's true. We have a lot of opportunities.
We are talking to 17 people live right now.
Yes, and hello everybody.
And it's just like amazing what we can do, and the positive impact we can make. There's so much negative stuff out there, and what we need, I think, is more people bringing about not the news and all that, but hey, how do we make a difference? How do we go from here? What do we do to make each other's lives better?
Yes,
not easier, but better.
And it is easy. And I'll be honest, the last 6 months, at least for me too, and I'm not going to go off into that because we don't want, to depress everyone. But I think it's been tough for all of us in different ways. I really believe this, though. There's always ways to save money. There's always ways to make money. And there's always ways to make the world a better place. And I do have to say, I have to really protect myself and my triggers. Everyone is different, and not saying it's not good to prepare, but sometimes I do feel like some of those things can promote fear a little bit. For me, I'm not telling anyone else how to feel. That's why I always say personally for me, I have to kind of protect myself from a lot of negativity and fear-based things out there.
And here's another question I have. Like for me, I feel like I'm getting into let me check my subscriber list. Let me see if I'm growing. Let me see my views. How do you not just keep scrolling and looking and not keep that as or do you? Like maybe you do.
Well, I actually do check it and see how I'm coming, at least, once a day to see, how it's coming along. One of the big things I do is I like to look at what videos are people not really watching that much, okay? So if I have 20,000 subscribers, within a week, I should have around at least 2,000 views on the videos. If I'm only getting less than 1,000 views, that means the interest isn't very good on that. It's good for me to look at what are people interested in, what have done well in the past. But the big challenge now is, and I've even had a few people say, hey, Dawn, you've spoken about this before. It's challenging to come up with new original ideas like, gee, guys, I have a new way to save money that no one's ever thought of before. You know what I'm saying? So trying to keep it relevant, a little bit personal to my life, trying to keep the video short where I get to the point. That's the main thing. And because even me, as you can tell in this live stream, I can be very rambly, and sometimes I have trouble forming my words to get to the basic point. I do check it, but my main thing is check what videos have done well and what videos are not getting a lot of hits. Like one of my videos that didn't do very well was the difference between good and bad debt. The other video that didn't get a lot of views that was requested was about saving money on pet care. I thought that would have gotten a lot of views, but sometimes it surprises me of what things that get the views and what things don't, you know, but not every video may interest everyone, and that's okay too.
Well, and I think it's still going back to what you like to do, create a video if knowing it might not provide the results you want as far as viewers, but it brought you joy. But at the same time, I call it the 80-20 rule. Meaning that makes sense. 20% of what you do is what really matters, often in business. And so you look at those top videos and say, okay, let's double down on that. The challenge is you will repeat. If you're doubling down on certain topics, you will repeat. And the other factor that I've thought about is we're in a story, right?
Yes.
So the thing is some people come into your story halfway through, right? And you can't just expect that maybe someone else heard it before, but someone else is new to your story. And so resharing that story is okay.
That might be true. And I can be repetitive at times. Sudha was asking about the protein pudding. I do plan on doing that. By the way, I do have to tell you another thing I'm going to be doing coming up. And oh my gosh, it is so good. I made a maple cake with real maple frosting with real maple syrup, I would give this cake an A+, and I'm going to have to do it as a fall recipe because it's easy and it's really good and it's all homemade. But I will show that protein pudding. See, I'll be honest, some of the weight loss videos don't do as well on my channel because they're there for frugality. But you know what? Not every video is going to get tons of views. So let's say somebody asks for a video that interests them and I'm able to do it. But it's not something that really interests the channel. I'm going to still do it because guess what? Somebody's asking for it. I don't expect every video to get millions of views because if I have to worry about, oh, how's my channel doing and worry about that, it takes the joy away because I'm there for the subscribers and, you know, I want to do what they want to see. And even if it maybe doesn't get tons of views, you know what I mean? That's okay if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I don't know
well, we just did a video on the Federal Reserve and the creation of the Fed. And I was like, this is not going to get any views, but it did, mainly because the interesting thing is when we released this video yesterday, the Federal Reserve made a big statement yesterday that affects every one of us. And I was like, well, we should probably talk about this because it is going to affect every one of us. And we went to just thinking about history and knowing that the things of the past affect.
Are they sending us more money, all of us, millions of dollars?
They're creating it or something like that. Yeah, but it was just interesting, and some of it, like our channel is 300, so I definitely don't get 1,000 subscriber or 1,000 video views yet.
Well, you know what though? I've seen channels that have that view that you might just do a really good video. One of the videos that's doing well right now, or anything on the stimulus check, those videos are doing well. You know, all it takes is a couple really good videos. So, but anyway, thank you so much, Sudha, and I really appreciate that. And I will do that protein pudding. I already have next Tuesday's video, but I'll do it on my next Tuesday cooking video and show you guys how to make the protein pudding for whoever's interested. I will write that down as my next cooking video. It won't be this next Tuesday. It'll be the following Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what would you want to leave? I know we're doing.
I know we're kind of going long.
What would you want to
another
leave?
5 hours to hang out? Just kidding. Okay.
Well, and here's the thing. Maybe this is a great thing for you to add into your mix, right? Building in the engagement with them or some of the YouTube people, just in interviews. I love doing this because it's a lot of fun.
I mean, I could interview somebody, but would this be a way that I could do a live stream with just me and the viewers?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that would be something I could try a live stream sometime. They're used to shorter videos. My folks are, but I don't think they would mind. I don't think they would mind as long as most of my videos are in the 5 minute or less. But if I did a live stream, maybe, you know, once every 6 months or maybe even once a year, I don't think that they would mind that. I'd have to think of a topic that's relevant and interesting.
What? Let's ask them. So what do you think if she ever did something, let's say she did a talk with Dawn for an hour once a month, would you actually watch it?
I don't know.
Or would you say, oh, that's too long?
Yeah, not once a month.
Do what?
I probably wouldn't do it once a month because
once a quarter or something. Like, I'm just curious because you have people here. Like,
yes.
Would they want that it's kind of like having you at a dinner table for a while, right? Instead of a 5 minute conversation.
I promise I won't eat because I have to tell you something. I have a hard time. One of my pet peeves, socks and sandals. Don't know why, but they drive me mad. Anybody else on that?
Me too. And
also when people eat and talk at the same time, I don't know why. It's just really difficult for me. Everybody has their pet peeves, but those are a couple of mine. Thank you, Frugal Joe. But the main thing I want to leave everyone with is this. I know this is silly. To sum it up, and I've said I'm repeating myself, but I really feel like it warrants repeating. I want to create a community. It doesn't matter to me about how many subscribers because I want to value the subscribers that I have. I want to create a positive, encouraging community where we're not comparing who's the most frugal. We're there to learn and support one another and basically just have that really safe net, if that makes sense. Have a community where you can support. I like to be positive and be grateful. I am extremely grateful to YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful platform. I am so grateful. I watch the YouTube Creator Studio. They give us new and updated information all the time. And I just have a lot to be grateful for. But I want to always honor the subscribers I have, and I always want to remain humble. And one of the things that's important to me is to really reach out to newer YouTube channels that aren't monetized yet, to do what I can to help inspire them and to help them, because I really love it if I do a shout out and I go back and I check and they have 100 new subscribers. That brings a lot of joy to me if I can help somebody.
Well, I feel like for me that it helped us, give me some. Building these channels is difficult, to say the least, especially in the beginning. And learning from people who are, I don't know, like people like you've been doing it for three plus years. And then you did a shout out to my channel. I don't even know. I was like, oh, well, that's.
Oh, good. You didn't even know you were going to get a shout out?
I know. Yeah. And then I was like,
By the way,
that's
somebody
awesome.
wrote on here, they wrote great ideas, and I'm reading all of these. Great. Your viewers interact a lot in the comments. See, that's the thing. And I know I've said this 5 million times. It's the viewers and subscribers that make the channel.
Yeah.
Like there's some channels, and it's okay. Everybody has to do what works for them, that they disable comments for whatever reason. Okay. Well, the comments is what makes the channel. If I didn't have the subscribers and the viewers, because I am somewhat frugal, but there's people that are way more frugal and way more improvements that I can make. Not that I need to compare. It's the subscribers. I value every one of them.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm hearing from here is a lot of people would totally tune in for a longer version of Q&A with Dawn.
Thank you.
That's what I'm hearing, and what they would listen to. They want to hear you more, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and I would try to come up with a good live stream where everyone can interact, because one of the things, and I was telling another friend this, and I'm going to say this. It's wonderful if I want to say, hey guys, I have 5 great ways to save money, and then I could say they're personal to me. That's wonderful that I can give tips, but where it brings joy to the community is if they can share their tips, and where people can come back and read and interact with each other. And there's people that'll ask questions, and some people will answer them and say, hey, go to this website, or hey, have you thought about doing this? And people really appreciate that.
Exactly. Well, and if you guys have not checked out her channel, I think a lot of people are from. I recognize everybody. One person on here said they were new, but I do recognize everyone. I don't know if any of my subscribers are there, but any new older ones. But this is her page. You can cut and paste it. If you don't know about it, I will put it in the chat too. Let's see here. And I like that picture of you and your wife. That's a good picture. That's at our old coffee shop. I think I'm actually wearing the exact same shirt. I think that Brandon should send us all some free coffee. Oh, I don't own a coffee shop anymore, so I can't do it. I know, I'm teasing. Can't do it. Yeah, but I loved being a coffee shop owner. It was a lot of fun building a community of people that knew each other, kind of like Cheers. Where oh my God, I thought of that Cheers song. Yeah, that was what we wanted to create, and it was something that we've been missing as we left that business a couple years ago. We had our baby and sold it and moved, and we're like, all right, how do we build community again? And that was, and also during COVID, that whole community thing is hard, but like building and videos, relationship within those videos, there's a lot that's there. And I like how we're looking at what we can do in the positive rather than moaning and groaning. Because you know what, guys, I'll be honest with you. Here's something that's real. If anyone's still watching, guess what? Even though I always seem positive and cheerful, sometimes in my internal dialogue is not positive and cheerful, and I can be kind of grumbly, but guess what? I might complain about a lot of different things,
but no one wants to listen to me, and it doesn't make anything better. It just makes it worse.
That's what my wife always says. Just you need to go take a walk or something else, because what happens is you
Because it
end up.
doesn't change anything. Complaining and moaning, when you complain, you remain. And believe me, I can complain. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but the worst thing is when I'm doing internal dialogue and complaining and grumbling.
Yeah.
Well,
and my wife, again, she'll just be like, yeah, you need to go complain to somebody else. Because she's the optimist. I'm the pessimist. I'm the glass half empty. She's the glass.
But I like the balance.
Yeah. And I think that's that's also in our business. We're able to look at it from both sides. But as a business owner, as a creator, you have to be an optimist and all of that. And I really like it. I'm grateful to have you on our small channel. It won't be small for long.
You're right. I love that.
And we want to grow and build and be the change we want to see in the world. That's why we created our channel, why we are doing these daily financially independent female entrepreneur videos that Amanda created. And so if you're new to our channel, check out those daily. And
one suggestion for Amanda, I don't know if she's going to do it for the videos, and I want to mention this. A lot of people, number one, may not know what an entrepreneur is, but not only that, a lot of people mention, oh, I want to work for myself. I want to have my own business. But sometimes people don't know where to even start.
Oh, yeah.
Because they say if you work for a business or you work for a company, you're not going to be financially independent. So let's say somebody has a job as an office manager, and maybe they even like the job. And people say, oh, don't you want to own your own business? And they talk about all the good things of owning your own business. But I think it'd be good to learn about what does an entrepreneur mean, and how do you even know what you want to do? Some people may not even know where to start.
I think we were talking about that before, and you had said, I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm like, well, you just started a YouTube channel and you have 20,000 subscribers. And I think you're getting paid from YouTube for ads, right?
I do get paid from Google AdSense, which I'm very grateful.
So, and that sounds to me like you are an entrepreneur that created a business. It just means the platform is YouTube.
That's true.
And so, but a lot of people, I call them entrepreneurs. They want to be entrepreneurs. They say they are, but they don't actually do the work to get there. And then there's a lot of people who say they're not entrepreneurs who are actually entrepreneurs.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't know. Think of me. I mean, when I think of entrepreneur, maybe I don't even know what that means. I love all these comments. My favorite. What would you like me to do about it? Derails a lot of negative attitudes. Oh my gosh, Jill, I have to say this. This could be a whole nother 3-hour live stream. So I'm just going to say this. There's a few people that if I said that to, if you think I talk a lot, there's some people in my world that talk way more, louder and faster, and they would answer that question in about a 2-hour discussion. So I don't know if I could ask that question.
Put it in the comments whenever when they ask. I think that's what, but I do think you show entrepreneurship. You are doing that kind of thing, and I believe this is just me. I think that we in our world right now have to learn that our employers may say, well, you're no longer going to work here anymore. They might cut our job, and we're going to have to figure out how to make money. And so we are going to have to learn the skill sets of an entrepreneur, meaning knowing our numbers, delegation, all kinds of things that matter in a business. Like for you, batching probably videos, things that work for yourself. And I think that's, again, we're moving into a world where people are independent contractors. That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think maybe I need to learn more about what an entrepreneur is and what does financial independence mean. I think I need to see, guys. I have a lot to learn, as you guys can tell, but hopefully people will learn with me. I do like what Jill says, derailing critical people, dishing them. Yes, I definitely understand, but honestly, most people I know are really positive. I do have a video though, and I'm just going to give you a hint because I do video tape ahead, and I'm doing a video outside, which is different because I'm not by my wallpaper, but a video about some things that I definitely struggle with because I tend to avoid conflict, which is not a positive personality characteristic. Something I'm working on. Let me just say that.
I think that's, have you ever heard of the Enneagram?
No.
It's a personality test. Maybe a 2 or 3 on the Enneagram, if I remember. Avoiding conflict. Man, I'm an 8 on the Enneagram, which means I go towards conflict.
Oh God, see, I'm the opposite. For example, if anybody, like I've been to a restaurant with someone before where they weren't happy with their food and they were complaining, I felt like crawling under the table. I feel like an animal. You know how they say an animal, you should never crowd an animal into a corner? That's what it feels like. So anyway, that's another video. We won't even get into that. This is my first time. Yeah, but I really appreciate everybody. I know we should probably end it now because, gosh, we've really done. Wait, how long have we been on?
We are at an hour.
Oh my God, I think we should end it. These poor folks. Hopefully no one's taking a nap.
Hey, there are 16 people who are loving what we're talking about, and I really appreciate you guys. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks for being here. We will be doing more of these, of course. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, check out some of the videos. Amanda is a lot more concise than probably both of us.
You both are good. Thank you. And you know what? Maybe some of these other folks over here wouldn't mind you interviewing them because
I would love it. So
each of these folks have something different to offer, which is wonderful.
And that's why I love these lives because the way I think about it is we are all made uniquely different. We are all we all have different definitions of financial independence, financial freedom.
We're still awake and listening.
and we can learn from each other. The way I think about it, if we started to, and I believe we did a video on this today about inclusion, if we realized our differences can help make a difference instead of all the other stuff, I don't know.
Yes.
We could change the world and make a big difference for our own financial future. And so I would love to have you guys on. Just reach out to me. And they're saying they're awake and listening intently. Love you, Money Mom, Dawn. Jill,
I do have to go because I know this sounds strange. I am so thirsty. From talking so much, I need to go get a drink.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. And Dawn is going to do some.
Oh, by the way, Fran just said, because you could do a video on this, she's interested in the Federal Reserve video if you want to do something on that.
Well, we had it. We just did one yesterday.
Oh, it's already uploaded for everybody?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, you can watch it on his channel. I haven't watched it yet. Hopefully it's good news.
Oh, it's about the history of the Fed, which is
okay, that's interesting. I'd like to watch that.
You want to always go back to see, sometimes looking back at our stuff. That
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so the Fed is neither federal nor reserve, and I'll leave it right there. It's neither.
We could look at history. I think it's good to look at history. I could definitely do more of that. Well, I'm going to sign off now. I really appreciate and love all of you guys.
All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for coming.
Take care now. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, thank you guys for watching. And thanks, Dawn, for being part of this video. And I am really excited to be doing more of these. So if you guys want to join me doing a live, hit me up. You can reach me at Brandon at Grandma's Wealth Wisdom. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, all those places. Would love to do a live with you. We'll talk to you next time.